been involved with professional certifications in the area of accounting, auditing, and finance for more than 20 years. In that time, I've come across a number of different professional certifications: ACCA, CIMA, CPA, CMA, CIA, CFA, CFE. It's an alphabet soup of certifications, and at times they do sort of run together. While it's absolutely certain that having a professional certification helps your career and helps you earn more money, the impact that a professional certification has on your career depends a lot on whether or not you choose the correct one for you. Just because your colleague or classmate is pursuing a certain professional certification doesn't mean that you should pursue the same one. And it also doesn't mean that they should be pursuing that certification either. But today, we're not worried about your friend or colleague and what they should do. We are concerned about what you should do. I know that the topic today is additional certifications, and the word additional implies that you already have one certification, and presumably it is CIA. However, before we get into additional certifications, I want to speak just a few minutes about the benefits of professional certifications in general, and then briefly about CIA. When we're talking about the benefits of professional certifications, we need to remember that there are two words here: professional and certification. Part of having a professional certification is being part of a profession. And being part of a profession is also where some of that benefit comes from having a professional certification. By being an active member of a profession, you continue to grow your skills, and you also are able to better network and grow your career as well. Getting the full benefit from a professional certification does not stop with passing the exams. You also need to be an active part of the profession. And by being here now, you are showing that you are an active part of the profession, even if you do not yet have a professional certification. Now, the second word, certification, is the word that I connect with the exams that you take. The exams certify that you know what you know. And to understand this point, we can compare professional exams to university. The quality of the education that someone receives at university varies greatly between universities and even within the same university over time. For example, I have an accounting degree from Miami University. And unfortunately, since it's not the Miami that is on the beaches of Florida, but rather the Miami that is in a small town in Ohio, you have not heard of my university. And since you have not heard of my university, you do not know how to value the accounting education that I have. To let you know, when I graduated from Miami, it was rated in the top 5 accounting schools in the U.S. So my university accounting education is very strong. But outside of the U.S., not many people would know that. Likewise, the university that you graduated from may be the best or the worst in the country, but most people would not know one way or the other. What is studied is different from university to university. The professors are different from university to university. The quality of your classmates is different. And while it is good to have a university education, the value of that education may not be easily transportable to another country because nobody knows how to assess your university education. But when you take a professional certification exam, everybody is able to see what you know because the syllabus and the examination process are the same for everyone. Every person in every country in the world passes the exact same exam syllabus. Of course, the questions on each exam are different, but the content that is covered is the same for everyone in the world. This means that when you go to any company in any country and you say that you are a CIA, they know what you know. Well, they know what you know at least 70% of. But even if the person has never heard of CIA, they are able to see the syllabus and look what is covered on the exam. So no matter what your university education is, the fact that you have passed a certification exam proves your level of knowledge. Now, another benefit that you get if you pass an exam that is in English is that it proves at least professional competency in English. This is especially important if you are looking to work in a foreign country or perhaps even a multinational company that does business in English. If you have passed your exams in English, you have already demonstrated your ability to work in English. Because of the fact that a professional certification certifies your professional knowledge and may also certify your knowledge of English, a professional certification can be looked at as a passport. It is what allows you to get a job in another company or in another country. It is your proof that you know what is on the exam. And if you compare the cost of a professional certification to the cost of your university education, a professional certification provides a much higher return on investment because of the significantly lower cost. Now, having touched on the ROI of a professional certification, we won't go into detail about the financial benefits of being certified, other than just to say that they are substantial over the course of a career. And the earlier in your career you get your certification, the greater the financial benefits of your certification will be. Now, having spoken about professional certifications in general, let me now turn my attention to CIA specifically. Simply put, CIA is the leading certification in the field of internal audit in the world. Periodically, someone sends me information about another internal audit certificate, but it never comes close to being what CIA is. CIA is the leader in the field of internal audit by a huge amount. So, if you plan to stay in the field of internal auditing and you have not yet started studying for the CIA exams, I urge you to do so. Something that is unique about CIA in the field of professional certifications is that you can take the exams in a number of languages, and for our purposes today it is Russian that is the most relevant. Having the exams available in multiple languages is an excellent decision by the IIA, and one that I wish other certifications would also consider. However, there are some potential drawbacks to having an exam in multiple languages. The first is the quality of the translation of the exam questions. If they are poorly translated, this can actually reduce the chance of passing the exam in that language. This is, however, an issue that should disappear over time. Another potential drawback of having an exam in multiple languages is the fact that it is available in multiple languages may cause that passport element of the certification to be decreased. But overall, having the CIA exam be available in Russian is a net positive. It allows the exam to be available to more candidates, which allows more companies to benefit from having their staff be CIAs than would be possible if it was only available in English. This availability in Russian raises a question for any candidate who speaks Russian and English. Which language should you take the exam in? My advice is this: if you are able to take the exam in English, you should. Only if you do not think that you would be able to pass the exam in English should you take it in Russian. By taking the exam in English, you keep that second element of the passport, proof of your ability to work in English. And while that may not be something that you need right now, it may be something that would be very beneficial in the future. Well, this now brings us to the issue of what about an additional certification? If you already have a professional certification, is a second one beneficial? And even if it is beneficial, is it worth it? Given the time and money that you need to invest in passing the exams, it may be that the return on that second investment is not high enough. Well, The return you will receive from that second certification depends largely on the certification that you choose. So let's talk about that. The most important criteria about what the best second certification for you is the same as the question when deciding about a first certification. Which certification will help you accomplish your career goals? So you need to ask yourself, what do you want to be doing in the future? What do you want to be doing in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years from now? If you are an internal auditor now, do you want to be the chief audit executive in 10 years? Do you want to be a finance director in 5 years? Do you want to start your own business in 3 years? Well, once you know what it is that you want to be doing in the future, you are able to decide which certification will best prepare you for your future. There are some general guidelines about the most well-known certifications that I will get to in a minute, but you should be aware that there are some very specific certifications that may be the best for you if you know very specifically what you want to do. For example, the IIA has 4 other certifications in addition to CIA. They are Certification in Risk Management Assurance, Certified Professional Environmental Auditor, Certified Process Safety Auditor, and Qualification in Internal Audit Leadership. In addition to these, there are other very specific certifications. Certified Fraud Examiner, Project Management Professional, Certified Information Systems Auditor, Certified Government Auditing Professional, Certified Bank Auditor. Whether or not any of these would be right for you depends on what you want to be doing in the future. Having talked about the more specific certifications, let's turn our attention to the more well-known international certifications that will provide much broader benefit to you by opening doors for you in a number of industries and professions. Among these, CPA, Certified Public Accountant. If you want to work for an external audit firm or in high positions in the finance function of a large multinational, you may need to be a CPA. ACCA is very similar to CPA, but it has easier eligibility requirements and, unfortunately, many more exams. Chartered Financial Analyst, CFA. If you want to work in investment banking, you should become a CFA. CIMA, one of the leading management accounting certifications. Unfortunately, like ACCA, it has a large number of exams that you either need to be exempt from or you need to pass. And last in this list of well-known international certifications to consider for a second certification is CMA, or Certified Management Accountant. This is the certification that I think is often the most useful second certification for someone who is already a CIA. The CMA syllabus is based on how a business operates and the decisions that a manager in a business needs to make. So the way I see it is that the CMA content helps an internal auditor know much more about the operations of the business and the needs of the decision makers in the business. This understanding of how management operates a business will ultimately help the internal auditor and the internal audit activity as a whole add value to the business. And if you are a CIA who wants to get into top management, showing that you know what top management does is a good way to get there. Whether it is CMA, CFA, CFE, or a certification that I didn't even mention, a second certification has the potential to add great value to your career. The key is to choose the certification that will help you achieve your career goals. That large positive return on the investment from your second certification comes only if it provides value to you that you are not already getting from your first certification. So, research what you want to do in the future and find the professional certification that is required in that position or will help you get the job that you want. And remember that this is your decision that you need to base on your career goals. Whatever certification you may choose as a second or third certification, I wish you success on those exams and success in your career.